Rory Gilmore had the audacity to think big and to obtain big. And this is also why we love her. So, with not one but 2 degrees with honors, one in philosophy and one in international studies, today we're gonna see all that is about Rory's, of course, Rory Gilmore's stationery, study tips, and also some advice. Starting with Rory's stationery. First of all, she has a collector or ring binder, whatever you want to call it, that is blue. Kind of dark. Sometimes we have seen it sometimes in orange, but definitely blue. And often she has white paper. But then she goes to Chilton and there is the day where she is actually shopping with her mom Lorelai, the best, and she's actually going for not like regular paper. She wants them to be yellow, which is a staple in her collection. But then she actually has the dividers of different colors and she also has the Chilton textbook, which probably is very specific to her, so we cannot actually go and get it back, unless maybe there are some like fan-made thing about Chilton, I don't know, but just a regular collector will be fantastic. Now, she has a yellow school bag, but at the same time, she has blue or like jeansy type, like blue jeans, shoulder bag. Then get into the actual stationery like pens and pencils. She's constantly using blue pens, so blue ink, and also a yellow pencil. Yes, she's just using a regular pencil, like the yellow one. Now, coming to felty pens, this may shock you. She has one, and it's brown. Now, speaking of the yellow paper, like what would you prefer, like yellowish ones or white ones? Because I remember that there is this episode where they are actually shopping for going to Chilton and Lorelai is proposing to her to have like fun, colorful paper. But she's actually not going with it because she wants to look serious. Personally, I find that yellow paper is some of the best paper ever to write on it because I'm a huge like analogical writer. I actually got both of my degrees by actively taking notes by hand, so I'm really a pro at that and actually maintaining good calligraphy. So that's it. Let's go to the other part. Part second, study advice and tips. Now, by a very important analysis of whatever was in Gilmore Girls, because I watched it, I don't know, maybe 35 times. I don't know, you tell me. I really loved it. Do love her, and she has good study tips. So, first of all, she actively reviews her notes every day, and also especially before going to sleep, which is very good for your brain because your long-lasting memory is actually going to be formed and solidified in a sense during your sleep. So that's very, very good, especially if you're learning languages, repeating things before going to bed, or also like key concepts. Wow, chef kiss, fantastic. Then, something that is also underrated is that she's actually reading for non-studying purposes, because this actually helps you to read faster when you are going through the textbooks, which is a big part of all of this studying in itself. So it is very important to also try to find some, time to read, even when I know you're kind of overwhelmed with all of the studying you have to do for midterms. Maybe you're in college, or maybe you are studying for your SATs, or you're in high school and you have so many things to do. But yeah, you should find like at least one fictional book that you like, that you can kind of get through it like very easily, and you start going faster and faster, and you start actually enjoying studying because you are associating the time with reading and studying all together with something that is playful, with something that is pleasurable. So yes, read for fun. By the way, she is actually always on classics, but you don't have to do that. You kind of need to find the type of books that you enjoy reading and go for that. Absolutely. The point is to enjoy the action of reading and to associate it with something positive. So whatever that is, go for it. Something that is not an actual practical study tip, but it is very, very, very fundamental in your study life. She is very ambitious. She's there shooting for the stars. She wants to go to Harvard, yes. And then she says, you know what? I don't want to go to Harvard. I want to go to Yale. And that's because the second thing that is a very good advice that we should take from her is that she's actually learning to pivot. Learning to pivot is one of the most important things we need to learn in life. I am putting myself out there. I'm not really good at that. I need to learn. So that is a very important quality because it's the only way that you can actually understand that some life paths are not correct. And guess what you need to do? Pivot. Go. Just heels up, go. The third thing you need to learn from Rory Gilmore is that she's not listening to anybody who tries to put any prejudice on her. She doesn't believe in the prejudices. She's there. She is demonstrating that she's good. She's fighting for herself and actually having her own back so much that when the... Oh, sorry. This might be a slightly spoiler, but you're probably as obsessed as I am with Gilmore Girls if you are actually watching this video on Rory's stationery and back to school tips. So I'm assuming that you are as insane as I am. But at the same time, what we are here saying is that in the episode where she is like, where her and her mom are confronting the headmaster at Chilton, because he's saying like maybe she doesn't belong here, maybe she doesn't have the family, the background, the pedigree basically to be here in this very prestigious school, and she's there saying no. Something else that she's also doing, so part 4, is that she is always standing up with herself. She's there, she has studied, even if I know Mr. Max Medina is not there letting her take the same exam. She knows that it is out of the rules in a sense, but she's there standing from herself because she believes that she actually deserves to prove herself right. So she needs the chance, and if they're not giving her the chance, guess what? She's gonna fight for herself and give that chance to herself. Which is fantastic because sometimes you need somebody to stand up for yourself. And sometimes that somebody is you. The third part of this discourse is about looks. Now, she doesn't have the freedom to actively choose her outfits. So we're not gonna speak about the outfits because she's 90% of the time in her Chilton uniform. But what is actually going to happen is that she will use very beautiful and like elegant type of hairstyles because she's using ponytails. She's using so high and low ponytails. I remember that she is using like a medium ponytail. Then she's using something similar to what I have now, so that she has like clips on both sides of the hair. And she's often using a headband, which was so 90s and early 2000s, which we absolutely love, but also very regal. So this video has come to the conclusion, and so we have actually seen what is Rory's stationery collection, which if you are a geek like me about stationery, you kind of will find it like fantastic because that is the full list of things. And then that I've actually retrieved all the information by myself by watching Gilmore Girls like 27 times in my life. Now Rory Gilmore has been kind of an inspiration for type A people, maybe, I guess. So we could actually get some really important suggestions that are not only good for going back to school, but in general for any career-wise, they are so good. And so yeah, I can actually say that the study tips are legit because I kind of have like the degree to say that, like speaking like wise. I got honors twice, really studying and focusing on the fact that I also wanted to go Ivy League. I couldn't, but because of money reasons, but but whatever. So I didn't go there. But at the same time, I still got my degrees with honors in very good university. So I'm happy about it. And I think she's a very big inspiration. And I actually have the degree to say that the study tips are legit. If you want more study tips that actually come from my personal experience, I can actually make a video on that, which can be like not really Y2K themed, but still it is very, very useful. Like, tell me in the comments if you would like to have more study tips from somebody that has actually mastered that, because I can tell you there's one thing I learned to do in life, that is actually studying for the best in the least amount of time. So keep in mind that maybe that's a good idea. But by the end of the day, you will know that this is Karen's and I am Lisa, and I'm posting every Tuesday in spite of any type of heat wave and in spite of any type of thing that I need to do in my life, because I really like this channel. So please subscribe and go and see other videos. Comment down below if you want to have more general study tips. Maybe I could actually compare it also with Gossip Girl, when Blair wants to go to Columbia and she starts like studying very hard. I mean, that was good. So we could actually speak about that. Tell me if you actually own anything of Rory's stationery, which I kind of do, because my obsession with like collectors basically started there. See you on Tuesday. Bye.